You know, there's a quote I keep coming back to. One that hits harder every time I watch a comment section erupt or a conversation spiral into shouting matches. It's from Winston Churchill, a man who lived through bombs, battles and bureaucracies, but who understood words could be just as dangerous and powerful as weapons. He said, "Some people's idea of free speech is that they are free to say what they like, but if anyone says anything back, that is an outrage." And I quoted that, because I see it happening everywhere. We've twisted the meaning of free speech. Somewhere along the line, it stopped being a principle of mutual respect and started becoming a weapon of one-sided dominance. Too many people today believe that the right to speak their mind is absolute. But the moment someone challenges them, suddenly it's censorship, persecution, or cancel culture. Let's be clear, free speech is not a monologue, it's a dialogue. Why I quoted Churchill. I quoted Churchill because he wasn't just speaking to his time, he was warning ours. In his day, freedom of speech was under threat from tyrants, from fascists and totalitarians who silenced dissent. But even then, he saw the hypocrisy creeping in, not just from governments, but from individuals who demanded to be heard, but refused to listen. I see that same pattern playing out today. On social media, in politics, in classrooms, in boardrooms. Everyone is shouting, but few are listening. And the second someone speaks in opposition, we brand it as hate, bigotry, ignorance, or, conversely, we cry woke censorship or thought policing. What Churchill recognized, and what I'm reminding you of now, is that free speech is a two-way street. The right to speak includes the obligation to listen. The right to criticize includes the humility to be criticized. How it applies today. We live in the most connected era in human history. Billions of voices, online at once. Everyone has a platform. But very few know how to use it responsibly. Think about it. If your idea of free speech means you get to speak without consequences, without challenge, without response, then what you're really asking for is authority, not liberty. And I don't care if you're conservative, progressive, religious, secular, left-right, or somewhere in between. We all must be held accountable for our words, not silenced, not erased, but challenged, debated, sharpened. We've become allergic to disagreement. Offended by opposition, we block, unfollow, mute, cancel. Anything to avoid confronting the uncomfortable truth that someone else might have a point. And that's dangerous. Because a society that cannot tolerate dissent is not a democracy. It's a cult. Advice for today and tomorrow. So here's my advice. For you, for me, for all of us navigating this noisy, volatile digital and cultural landscape, speak your truth, but expect to be challenged. That's not persecution, that's participation. Defend speech you disagree with, not because you endorse it, but because the right to speak means nothing if it only protects the popular. Don't confuse being offended with being oppressed. Disagreement is not violence. Words can be sharp, yes, but so is truth. Respond, don't react. When someone pushes back, don't retreat into outrage. Lean into the conversation, ask questions, seek clarity, resist the urge to cancel or condemn, practice intellectual humility. You might be wrong, I might be wrong, and that's okay, so long as we're still willing to learn. The future depends on this. Churchill knew that wars weren't just fought with bombs, but with ideas. He knew that civilization advances not when we all agree, but when we are all allowed to disagree, openly, freely, and respectfully. So yes, I quoted Churchill, not to sound smart, not to win a debate, but to remind myself and you that the strength of free speech is measured not by how loudly we speak, but by how well we listen when others do. Let's not build echo chambers. Let's build bridges. Let's not fear words, weapons or not, but learn how to wield them with wisdom. And above all, let's protect free speech not just as a right, but as a responsibility. Because the future of civil society, of democracy, of truth itself, depends on it. Thank you.